Boys and girls, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks. So simple. Go to the App Store, pick more or less favorite players, NBA, NHL, UFC 322 this weekend. It's available in states like Texas, California, and 30 more, plus Canada. Right now, great time to play because you use code TIMBO. Prize Picks will give you $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. So check it out now, boys. UFC 322, code TIMBO. Okay, boys and girls, back again. It's a beautiful day, and we got a great show planned for you. We got a couple legends on the show today. We got our mainstay, Joe Diesel Riggs, and he is sober, looking good. Then we got the legend, Dominick Cruz, joining us today. One of the greatest bantamweights you ever seen, 24-4. One of the first ones to come out with a sugar type style. Pretty much the creator of that style. So let's get into the nitty gritty with Dominick Cruz. Dominick, thanks again for joining us, brother. I was looking forward to this pod big time.
Yes, I look forward to talking to new people too, man. Picking their brains. So thanks for bringing me.
Dude, hell yeah. And you started your new podcast, Love and War with Dominick Cruz, and it's already popping off. You had your first show with Uriah Faber. Next show was Travis Barker. My people have to go check out that show. What kind of influenced you to get going on your podcast?
What kind of influence, what kind of influence what?
What influenced you to start your own show?
Oh, what influenced me to start? I've already been in the space. I've been doing network television, which is ESPN, and then the color commentary, and I did Fox before that. I did a little bit, leading into that before I started doing desk work and color commentary. I'd already been in the TV world, so it just felt natural to just keep the ball rolling, basically. So I always wanted to do it, but I needed to make sure that certain pieces were in place so that I could do the job that I wanted to on it. Make sure it wasn't like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Just do it right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of the show already looks so professional. Now, are you coming out with a show every week?
That's the plan. Yes, sir.
Dude, that is awesome. So what's a day in the life right now with Dominick Cruz? You're 40 years old now, accomplished everything in MMA. What's a day in the life look like now?
It's a great question. I think it's rewriting everything from the space that you just said. It's being able to rewrite a new curriculum, I guess is the best way to put it, of life. Because when you're training for top 10 fights, I mean, I've been in the top 10 of the division since I started. I never left the top 10. The only time I left the top 10 is because I asked permission to be out of the rankings because I know they don't really matter. So no matter what, I fought somebody who's been in the top 10, whether I was ranked or not. So knowing that that's coming back every time I've been injured or every time I have my next step, it makes life look different. Best way I can explain it to your listeners is wherever anybody's at right now listening to this, imagine there's somebody outside of the building that is at your skill level or a little better, and they're waiting to fight you for 15 minutes. No matter what, you got to get through the 15 minutes or die. How do you live the rest of your day? How does your day look? What are you thinking about from that moment forward? And that's the best way I can explain how prize fighters live. It kind of it shades the whole day with that in the back of your mind, whether you want to or not. It's a subconscious thing. And the only reason I know that now is because it's not there, and life looks totally different when that level of pressure is not there. And it's important for me to rewrite things from that place.
Yeah, and you've always kind of cared about your health, it seems like. So right now, is it easy for you to kind of eat healthy and really care about yourself without having a fight camp to worry about and a weight cut?
Yeah, I just, it's easier to live that way than not to. It makes you feel better. So it's a choice. I could go the other way, get fat, you know, be allowed to drink, things like that. But at the end of the day, that actually makes things harder for me. So it's like I can pay now or pay later, so I try to stick to it the best I can. Little bit of vices here and there are allowed more, but I'd say the biggest vice is not having to do constant cardio. That's like the
Yeah.
biggest vice to get to release, is just not having that daunting thought in the back of my head of a really hard cardio session at least 3, 4 times a week to keep my weight down. Yeah, without that, that's like a gift in itself.
Dude, well, especially, I mean, I've heard so many interviews and stuff, you dealing with plantar fasciitis. It's like when
That
when you
hurts.
have that plantar fasciitis, it's like, dude, that is some of the most fucking miserable pain. And you training for it, still going through fight camp. How did you end up fixing your plantar fasciitis?
You know, it always has the lingering to come back, so you have to constantly be on top of it. It's one of those things that it can go away. It did go away, but it can come back just as fast as it goes away if you don't stay on top of the physical therapy. It's a lot of calf loosening. It's a lot of IT band loosening. It's a lot of hamstring loosening, and then loosening the fascia on the bottom of your feet with a DMS gun 2, 3 times a day, all day long, keeping your feet loose. The second you stop doing that every single day, keeping your feet loose thing, they tighten up and everything starts to restrict itself. And then when the feet start to restrict, then the knees, the hips, the back, everything flows up the chain from there. So it's easier to just keep the feet loose. So even right now, I'm rolling my feet out on a ball as we
Really?
talk. It's like it's a never ending thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember I spent so much money one time. I was training at Team Quest in Portland. I got plantar fasciitis, and I was like, holy fuck, am I going to have to retire because of this? But then
Right.
starting to pick up the marbles with your toes and just like you said,
Did-
that constant
Did you
physical
get some
therapy.
device to put it in the arch of your foot to kind of help?
Yeah,
it?
sleeping with the socks
Yeah.
that pulls your toes back, that kind of helped a lot. But Dom, so I've heard about you talk about it in the past. Again, you've been fighting your whole life. I mean, your whole life has been, okay, when's my next fight? When's my next training camp? When's my next fight? When's my next training camp? When did you start accepting, be like, okay, now I need to accept that I'm retired? Joe Diesel Riggs is finally starting to accept that and doing a good job at that.
It hurts.
When did you start to do that? And how?
Um, I think it would probably somewhat align with Joe. I think we all kind of go through it. You know what I parallel the best with is like ex-military guys, actually. I've got a lot of friends that are ex-special forces that come out, and when they get out, it's like readapting to regular life. Just having things can just be fun whenever they want. You don't have all this hard things to do. So it's just different. But I accepted it right away. When I had that shoulder separation, it kind of locked me in right away. It's not easy. It's definitely, I'm still going through the adjustments because it's just so much free time
Yeah.
of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it feels just free all the time. Not having to face that guy. It's just taking that little extra fear of like the spar the next day or the sprints the next day. That little thing, when it goes away, the best way I can explain is you don't know until it's gone that life looks completely different without it. I mean, relate communication in relationships, free time to go, incorporate relationship. Like there's no longer an excuse in any relationship, right? It's like before it's kind of like, oh, I got to train. That comes first. That shit don't come first anymore. So when it stops coming first, the relationships are like, okay, I'm here for you. And it's kind of like, whoa, I don't have a whole lot of practice at this thing yet. I'm used to being a kennel dog. Now I'm like moving back into society. It's wild. And so the podcast, I feel like kind of doubles down on that. It allows me to just show people who I always have been, but I've never let show because, I've got the fight coming up and all is fair in love and war. So you got to make sure and not give too much too early because it'll get used against you when you're going to the war.
Absolutely.
So it's been fun just adjusting, I know Joe knows about that. It's a totally different life.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. And how much are you working out these days? Like, are you finding different ways to push yourself, like in a cold plunge, or pushing yourself and getting rid of that little anxiety? Because working out every day, pushing yourself every day to just not, where's that energy going?
Well, I have a lot of jobs. I do a lot of work in the community to support with leadership. I work in a leadership program in Vegas, so I do a lot of stuff with that. I'm doing where I give, like, basically it's like community service, like giving time to help to support people and building their own goals. When I'm not giving back to the community in that world, I'm doing well, I've been on ESPN, now we're with Paramount, so that's going to shift. Color commentary at least once a month, the podcast at least once a week. And then I'm exercising like I always have in between that, except that since I blew my shoulder out 3 weeks before that last fight, I've now just been focused on rehabbing the shoulder, getting it bulletproofed before I start doing martial arts again. So I'm just lifting weights, doing cardio to make sure I keep a baseline. And then once the shoulder feels a little bit stronger, like I still feel scared to fall on it. It has like some fear zones still. Once I get through all those, then I'll start doing martial arts. But in the past, I used to have to start martial arts right now. I would have to start hitting pads. I would have to start wrestling. I would have to start figuring out how to get the faith to post in it, whether I have the strength or not. So it's been nice to be able to just build the strength back without a pressure of them trying to book me in a fight at the second they say. Because once the doctors know it's been a certain amount of months, the doctors that work for the UFC will say, hey, this is the general time he should be rehabbed in 100%. And so on that date, they book the fight. And then you have 3 months, the second you're healthy, to get ready for the fight. So I've never really had any time in any of my injuries to just feel good. It's just been like, fix the injury. Okay, fight for 15 minutes, just get through camp. That's what tightened up my feet, was coming out of the rehab straight into 5-minute rounds. And my body was just soft. It hadn't been, the durability hadn't been built up. I just went from 0 to hero pretty much. And that just killed my fucking feet.
Yeah, especially like how much jump roping you do and your style of shadow boxing. How you said you'd sit there and shadow box for, I forgot what you said,
Footwork,
like an hour.
man.
It's all that footwork, and then the sprints you guys would do over there at your gym.
Yes.
Look, I'm sure they would tear up your feet.
On toes the whole time too. He's just on toes bouncing around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think Joe's done it because he used to train with Drew Fickus. So I'm sure Joe's done those incline sprints. Have you, Joe?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, those are horrible. Those are
okay.
They do the job.
Yeah,
though.
so I've done those my whole career, and it just makes your feet just tighten up. So I was shooting my feet with cortisone, or not cortisone, but a Botox to numb the fascia so that it would release. So before I fought Cody, I actually got 150 injections of Botox in the bottom of my feet to paralyze the muscle. Because what happens is the muscle tightens and then it pulls on the fascia, and that's what creates the pain. But the Botox would paralyze the muscle. It would give a little relief on the fascia, and I'd have to wear shoes and I'd have to tape my feet and I'd have to soak my feet in Epsom salt. But it got me through the camp for that Cody fight. I just couldn't do any footwork, any jump rope, nothing barefoot. No excuse. I took the fight knowing all that was there, but that was going to be my big payday. You know what I mean? Welch, like, Ronda Rousey was on the card. So it's like, whether you're healthy or not, you take that fight because that's the first payday you're going to get. And probably maybe the last, and it was.
Yeah. I always enjoy when you're commentating with someone and you always call them out. If they're wrong in an area, you'll call them out. You won't just let skim by it. And I always enjoy when the commentary gets a little snippy back and forth. I always like that. Do you guys ever?
Some do, some don't, right? You never know.
Do you ever talk about it on the breaks or anything? Like, hey, why the fuck you call me out?
Fuck up next time. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Bisping and me have a good understanding now. We've worked together long enough that, I've really worked on just making it a win-win for everybody, but I think more than anything, more than trying to make people wrong, I just stand my ground that we can agree to disagree. You're not wrong. That's your opinion, but I'm also going to say, this is how I see it. It might not align 100% with you, but now the audience has two perspectives to choose which one they want. I'm not here to make people wrong about what they say, honestly. It might sound that way on air. That's not what I'm trying to do, so I can work on that, obviously. But it's really important we work together, honestly, at the desk, because it's not really about me or me being right. I'm literally trying to support the fighter and how I see it. And sometimes the broadcasters see it different. It doesn't make them wrong to me, but I'm going to make sure everybody knows that I see it this way. This is how I see it. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Do you do any like supplements before you commentate? Like maybe a lip pillow, a nicotine lip pillow, maybe a little smoke or coffee What do you do before you commentate? Okay, boys and girls, this episode is brought to you by Spade. Zero sugar, zero calories, all natural. There's 6 flavors: cola, yuzu, lime, guava, blueberry acai, kiwi, strawberry, Dr. Spade. Only 6 ingredients, including water, sweetened with the most premium form of stevia on the market, and there's no bitter aftertaste. It's caffeine-free. It's dye-free. It's actually healthy. Added electrolyte for hydration benefit, just as healthy as a sparkling water, and just as flavorful as a traditional soda. For our listeners, Amazon link in the description, TIMBO Spade 10 for a clean 10% off. Back to the program.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah.
I do a lot of coffee. I like to be really clear-headed when I do it, because my thoughts if I have some sort of obstruction, like any kind of thing, any kind of outside placebo, I guess, or a drug or whatever, if I do that, I feel my thoughts don't just flow. So I like to just stay in flow when I do it.
Smart.
Yeah, a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee. And do you do coffee at home? Do you make your coffee yourself when you're at home?
Tim's a coffee snob. Is he setting you up for this now?
Well, I'm just curious. Ooh, are we doing a Keurig?
I like a French press. A French press.
Nice.
Nice.
I like a French press. I grind up the beans and throw it in the French press, and then I get the strongest coffee I can get.
And
so if you got some good beans, I'm down. Let me recommend. I'm in.
Hell yeah. I mean, maybe I can send you some. Now, do you doll it up a little bit? Do you doll it up with a little bit of sweetener and milk, or do you just go black?
It depends on how much hurry we're in, right? Like if I'm in a hurry, I just need my coffee. If I can make it taste good, great. Mm-hmm. But as long as I'm getting the high,
yes,
I'm all right.
Yes.
I'm happy. As long as I'm getting that caffeine high, I'm good.
And recently, within the past couple months, I got Joe Diesel Riggs on the marijuana herb, and boy, is he loving it. He might be abusing it a bit, but we're working on that.
Let's not talk about that. He did. I fucking would shun Sean and Tim for smoking weed. They used to live with me, and they would smoke weed in the house. I would fucking just go crazy. And now the tables have turned, Dominic. I'm smoking quite a bit. It's a double-edged sword. It can be bad though.
What was the resistance to them smoking before for you?
I grew up just weed's bad. Always been in sports, and then I just didn't think how it could help. And then I didn't look at the mental side of it. It kind of gives you relax, kind of gives you a break after practice. But if I wasn't doing it when I was fighting, but I fucking love it now. You don't smoke at all?
Well, it's what happened is when I left Tucson, Arizona. That was like, I remember training with you. It was like, at that time it was a big pill era. People like even Don Fry was eating Vicodins before I would spar him. Like he would just throw 2 in his mouth and chew them. It was that kind of era. And I remember you had talked about working through that phase of your life when I met you. We went on a drive. And I'll never forget the drive. I was just coming up. I wasn't huge in the sport yet. I was just beginning. I had gotten like 1 or 2 training sessions with you, and you were driving, and you're like, man, this shit's hard. Like there's a lot of pressure, and you'll see when you get here. And I remember you just kind of giving me some pointers and some light when you get to the UFC. I mean, this is when you were at the peak fighting Matt Hughes and stuff. I was just really like listening to you. And we were with Roland Sierra at some event for Rage in the Cage. That guy.
Yeah,
I know.
In my mind,
I don't need to say much about it.
Great guy.
Huh?
In my mind, my memory of it, it's with you. I don't fucking remember Roland there. That's just terrible. But fucking it does make sense. So I mean, it was when I used to go down to Tucson and train with Dom. Fucking, he was. Were you a state champion, Dom?
No, I wasn't. That's part of what sparked my grind, I think, is I got 6 places state, but I was just wrestling year round. So I was a good wrestler. I just didn't do real well in the pressure of it.
It is pressure, but the same thing with Sean. I mean, you see this kid training, you knew he was going to be a world champion.
Really?
You were training with that boxing coach. What was his name? Remember him?
At the time, it was Charles Caraway and Rocco.
That's it. That guy. He's a nice guy. Nice guy. I forget the name of the gym, but it's fun.
Yeah, but Rocco was just, at this time I was just grabbing people around me that
yeah.
could give me something. I
Yes.
knew nothing. So
Yes.
if you could give me something, and you would not charge me, count me in. That was the baseline of it. It was like I was like a thrift store for learning how to fight. I was just like broke, and it was impossible to get somebody to hold pads for you. Well, that cost $65 an hour. I don't have any money at all. I could barely buy gas to get to the gym. I was a janitor at the gym to pay my dues. I was teaching classes just so I could be there for free. So it's like to get pad holding, to have a coach was impossible. So I would just train with guys like Joe. This guy Rocco would, hold pads for me a little bit, give me a couple pointers on the outside. I'm down. I would get whatever amateur boxers I could to come around and spar me, and I would do one blue belt round, one boxing round, I just mix it up. This is the early days of fighting in 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
What number?
That's when I met Joe. But yeah, I mean, what I was getting to is with the reason why I left Tucson was partially like to get away from bad choices, and I moved to San Diego.
Sure.
And yeah, I pretty much quit drinking, none of the bad like pills or anything like that. And I actually started to smoke a little bit, and that opened up a lot of recovery, and it made me go to bed too early. It made me eat too much. I slept through the night, and I woke up feeling fresh. So it was like, I think this is the vice that's going to support me more than alcohol or anything else. I'm not a big drug user because my dad was a real bad drug abuser growing up. He was just like real into meth and in and out of prison and just alcoholic, all the stuff. Like not a sob story, but just like it's part of what made me who I was. I'm glad he was that. It showed me what not to be. So I wasn't a big drug user in any other thing, but I did puff on the Chiba.
Nice.
So
just a little.
So now if you're done with all your stuff for the day, do you hit the bong, throw on some 90 Day Fiance, or what are you doing nowadays?
That's Tim's night.
Or the Originals Family Farm. Shout out to them. They're actually my launch sponsor for Love and War. And again, like and subscribe on YouTube, please. We're looking to get things moving on that and have some good conversations like we're doing right now. I'd love to have your boy O'Malley on, love to have you on, love to have you guys on together. That's fine too, whatever. But yeah, we're looking to grow it. And now at this time, if you guys want to come over, I'll hook you up with some originals. Let's get a talk going, and you guys do what you want to do.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Sweet. So what pro fight did you start developing your style where you were switching stances, kind of level changing in and out, switching your style? When did you like, fuck, I'm gonna mess around with this? And did you have people that were trying to stop you from doing that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely that. You say it like a man who's dealt with it yourself. What it is I had a good coach that didn't try to stop me from doing things, and that's what made me choose him as a coach. Was he just said, okay, these are the things you do. They're not wrong or right. For whatever reason, it makes it hard for people to deal with you. So we're going to keep those things. But he had a real good gift of fine-tuning specifics, like moving my feet in small chunks, switching up certain punches to lead behind other punches or other takedowns, kicks to set things up. And I think what I would say helped me the most was figuring out how to like fine-tune my weirdness into a little bit more balance and a little bit more keeping my feet underneath me, not falling forward. These were always constant adjustments. But I started doing it from the get-go, to be honest. My mindset was in how to get on the side of people. Like, how do I get to where they have to do this or this? Because when I started the sport, it was at 155 pounds. There was no 135. There was no 145. There was no 125. There was no women's division. It was 155 and up. And so I'm picturing myself fighting a Matt Hughes, a Sean Shirk, Diego Sanchez. These are the guys at the time that were at the top at 155 for me. BJ Penns. So I'm thinking these guys are huge. And they're not just huge by weight and strength, because I was 155 pounds eating and drinking as much protein, weight gainers, everything I could, lifting. I couldn't get over 155 with the cardio I was doing. So I knew I'd have a big strength disadvantage, size disadvantage. And I never thought of the lower weight classes ever beginning, to be honest. It wasn't even a conversation. So I was just set on 155. That made me think, okay, I'm going to have a speed advantage, and they're going to be lengthier than me, and they're going to be heavier than me, and they're going to be stronger than me. So I cannot let them lay a finger on me. Otherwise, I just really don't have a whole lot of advantages. So I had to make it where I was like a cat or like a wet fish is what I was thinking about. Like if they try to grab me, I squeeze out the cracks. If they try to punch me from a distance, I'm next to them. Now they're no longer powerful. Now they're no longer heavy. None of that matters if you're standing next to them. And so I always knew my footwork was going to be the only method that allowed me to be able to do that. So I had to focus on picturing whatever punches would hit me from a distance that were causing me issues. And then on my own, I would set shoes up on the floor and find ways around those. I would imagine those punches coming at me and find ways to trick like I step this way, that gets the punch, and then I step here and then I can pivot. And I'd find ways to work around the lengthy weapons. And as long as I was on the side of people, it didn't matter how big or how strong or how juiced up they were, because I knew juice was being used at this time when I was in the sport too. And I wasn't going to, use any of that stuff. It wasn't going to do anything for me. I wanted my testicles. So that was what I was thinking about at that time. I was just like, well, I don't want my balls to disappear, so I'm not going to do any of that. So I'm just going to have to find a way to use my speed to my advantage and my wrestling. Because at this time, if you're a good wrestler, you could do a lot with it in the sport. And obviously we're seeing still that's the case. But with all this in mind, early on in 2006, 2007, the fact that these guys were bigger, they were stronger, they were heavier, they were probably using some PEDs. It was really important for me to make sure I couldn't be touched, I couldn't be hit, and I couldn't be grabbed. And so I made my footwork work around those methodologies and mindsets. And I just tried to be as creative as I could. And 100% boxing coaches would try to tell me I was wrong. Don't be switching your feet, your defense this, your defense that. But one thing I always knew, same with kickboxing coaches, Muay Thai guys, very heavy footed, don't move your feet, don't be moving around. I knew that this was a new sport. I knew that as much as people wanted to tell me what was right and what was wrong, they actually didn't know. And the reason they wanted to tell me what was right is because they were scared they were going to be wrong. And so I just had to make my own way in a brand new sport, knowing and being confident in the fact that this is a brand new sport. Nobody knows the answer. Nobody knows the right or wrong way to do it, because it's too new. So if somebody tries to tell me there's only one way to do it, I immediately don't trust them. And my coach wasn't like that. He's like, okay, do it that way. And then he would fine tune things. And I'm like, okay, we can work together. That's going to work for me. And it did. And that was Eric Del Fierro. And, he's still coaching in Mexico City today, does the same thing. And it's worked out well.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I'm sure you saw it too, especially when you were champion and stuff, guys coming in the gym and wanting to do that style, but they just weren't the type of athlete to do that style. They didn't have the reaction time. They didn't have a good enough eyes to do that style. I kind of run into that sometimes here. I'm like, you're just not, and I try to say it in a good way, but learning, there's something about learning a good orthodox stance, learning to float out of the way, learning to have good defense, and trying to really get good at that stance first. But then you'll have those crazy athletes like you or Suge that can get away with just being
it's so rare though. You get guys that can, they switch back and forth, and instead of just learning one style and kind of getting that down. I think there's what, 3 or 4 or 5 guys that are like Dom and Sean.
And it was a lot of lightweight guys, Dom, TJ Dillashaw, these guys. But now you see Jack Madalena doing it.
Yeah, fucking knows anything about that.
He fucking does it at welterweight. He does it good.
I think that what I was doing is just kind of broke the mold and allowed people to be more free. That's one thing that I'm proud of about what I did, is I changed what's right and what's wrong and made things just, okay, there's a possibility. There is no right or wrong. This could just be open to creativity. And I think that the true mark of of a good champion is, did you set the bar, and did you make everybody around you better and transform their style? And that was something that I was always focused on too, is to be different. Just don't be like everybody else. Make it fun to watch, make it interesting to watch. And to be clear, I started with a very conventional stance. I started with all the basics that you're talking about first. So it's not like I just came out of nowhere and started doing all this stuff. I had the coaches that did hold me, the boxing coaches, the Muay Thai coaches. I did all this stuff that they told me first and said, okay, I'm going to keep one stance. Okay, I'm not going to move and hop all around. And that fine-tuned everything in the basics and the fundamentals, which were
There you go.
extremely important. Then I could add all the creative shit later. And so I don't disagree that it's crazy to see certain guys do it, but I think that they have the fundamentals first and then they add all this other funk to it second. I think that's my experience of watching some of the best guys: Demetrius Johnson, TJ Dillashaw, Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley, myself, are five that I could think of off the top. JDM. And now you got JDM's not quite as like angly and shifty and explosive from the outside, but he switches stance just more fluently. And you're seeing that's the next level, I think, is guys who are a Peter Yan style is a great example, who can switch from conventional. I mean, he beat Jose Aldo in a southpaw stance just by making the adjustment in the middle of the fight and switching and staying that stance. Very impressive. I never had that craft. I couldn't just stay in one stance. I had to constantly be using, I'd switch to a stance to get an advantage angle. And if I didn't get the advantage angle, I'd go back to my conventional stance. That's the thing about my style. Whereas when you watch like a Peter Yan or a JDM, they're switching and they're just sitting there. And they're staying there. Their defense is still just as good. Their balance is still just as good. So it's been impressive. Leon Edwards, it's been impressive to watch these guys be able to do that. They're literally as equal in their southpaw stance as they are in their conventional stance, not just with offense and balance, but also with defense. That's what really raises the bar on these stance switching to me, is how good is your defense in each stance.
Yeah. And you see some of these guys trying to do it. They're squaring their feet in the pocket and they're getting dropped on their butt. But again, with that kind of stance and that kind of style, the amount of road work, the amount of jump roping, the amount of shadow boxing, the amount of running you have to do for 25 minutes of that is the real fucking deal.
Yeah, for sure.
It changes so much when it's 5-round fight.
You get a baseline. You get a baseline that, that's what I was saying. I don't have that daunting cardio workout in the back of my head because I know I've got to do double the cardio of everybody else because I move double the amount of everybody else and I feint double the amount of everybody else and I'm hitting explosive angles double the amount of everybody else. That being said, if I want to do those things, then my cardio is going to have to be a whole separate routine from lifting weights, from martial arts, from wrestling, it's like cardio is also an entire discipline. Yes. And with that out of the regiment, man, I put on fucking 8 pounds and I'm just lifting weights, trying to get as swole as possible.
Hell yeah. Too bad we didn't have CPI stem cells back in the day, just jacking in stem cells.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but I'm grateful we got them now. CPI is definitely a lifesaver for me. It got me those last 2 fights after my, it got me about 2-3 more fights, the stem cells in my shoulder, before it just folded and then I had to do the surgery. But the stem cells can really elongate what you got going on.
Hell yeah. So back in the day when you started making some real paychecks, were you always good with your money, or what kind of investments did you make, or would you just buy some chains and a nice car or something?
Yeah, I think I didn't do that. Fortunately for me, I always knew that it was going to be like pulling teeth to get money from promoters. I learned that very early, and that included the UFC. So I knew any paycheck I got was a blessing and a gift. Hey. And I didn't, yeah.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
No, he's right. He's right.
Oh, I thought it was a blessing and a gift, and I invested it or kept it. So I kept my first, 6 paychecks or whatever. I didn't spend anything. I only got a 2009 Honda. It was the first new car I ever got. And I lived in a casita in back of a family's house. I shared their washer and dryer with them. I lived by myself, 1-bedroom studio, and I lived there for 4 years while I was champion from 2010 to 2016. I lived in this 1-bedroom casita by myself, and it was within 2 miles of the gym. So I would run to the gym and back. That was my warm up. And then I jump rope and shadow box. And by that time I was ready to train. And I was also teaching 20 classes a week at the gym that I was 2 miles down the street from. So I was in the gym morning to night, doing 2-a-days, teaching in between that, running back home, running back. And that was my life for about 5 years. I just didn't leave that little casita because I just kept stacking up my paychecks until I could buy a house. And in 2014, I bought my house in California. And then I kept this house here. And then I just, I was able to buy my mom a home. That was one of my goals when I started this thing, was to be able to support my mom, because we come out of the trailer park. She did the best she could, and I just wanted to make it so my family could live as good as me, and then I have a home in Las Vegas, and I now currently live in Las Vegas. That's my residency, and I hop back and forth between my house with my mom in Tucson and San Diego, and those are three of my investments. And then whatever I do in stocks and all these little things. Yeah, I was blessed enough to be smart and just buy houses. I didn't
Hell
go
yeah.
waste my money. I earned my car, my GTR, from Dana, from fighting Demetrius Johnson back to back right after I fought Faber on with limited views on Versus. They knew it wasn't going to get a ton of views, so he's like, "Hey, we'll hook you up with a car." So they got me that. And I got my Cadillac. I got my Cadillac CTSV Blackwing. That was the one splurge I made. I allowed myself to have, and it was a stupid buy, because you lose your money the second you drive a car off the lot. But amazing. It's like some people get razors, some people get boats, some people get, like different off-road stuff. But I like to have a daily driver that's just fast as hell, that can do donuts and all kind of. That's my fun for the day. I love driving.
Hell yeah. Did you ever dabble in any crypto, or you stay away from that?
Yeah, I've got some Ethereum in there. Yeah, I
Hell
think
yeah.
it's important for people to diverse all their different stuff. I'm not like heavy in it. I'm not like a genius about it, but I definitely try not to skip anything. I try to dabble into each little thing, and just not waste my money on stupid shit. Do my
Hell yeah.
best, because it's hard to get paychecks in this world. So you got to spend them wisely.
Hell yeah. You've always been kind of, I would say, an underrated trash talker. You'd always talk some good trash and get in the opponent's head, and I've always thought that was a good tactic, trying to get someone emotional, trying to get him emotional, trying to really get him to bite down and be emotional in there. What are your thoughts on that? Would you kind of plan that trash talking stuff, or just come natural?
I think I'm really competitive by nature. So even in my podcast, it's going to come out at times. I don't even mean for it to. I don't need it. It's not something I need to be in regular life. And it's actually something I'm adjusting in regular life, is not being so damn competitive. But I'm just a very competitive human being. So I think when somebody challenges me, it triggers something in me, and I just hit you with the truth. And for me, it's like, I don't have a whole lot to hide. If I just tell you how it is and how I feel, then when you try to talk shit to me, I've already said everything. So if people want to judge me, they can judge me, because I already said it myself. So whatever people want to talk shit to me about, go ahead. It's probably something I've already talked about anyways. It's something that I'm very aware of. It's something that I'm comfortable with admitting to the world, that yes, I come short in these areas. So as long as I can admit those things out loud myself, then I've dealt with them. There's not much other people can fuck with me about now.
Hmm.
There's not too many things you can say to me that's going to get under my skin or trigger me, other than you think you can beat me. And I think you're an idiot for that. And I'm happy to make sure you know that. And it just comes out naturally.
Hell yeah. Were you always good at kind of being in the fight and having no emotions?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what I'm having. And it's a great question, because now I'm feeling the repercussions from that. So, one of the things that's interesting is, you know, my coach always really was like, "Oh, you kind of want to be a little bit toxic. You want to feed the ego. You want to be in that darkness." And I realize now that I'm done, that didn't, you can have it all. You don't need to be just toxic and nasty and be dark and be all in this evil shit and have your life not working so that you can fight well. Like, you can have it all. Your life can work outside of the octagon, and your life can work in the octagon. And I think the key is balance. That's where the term the yin and the yang came from. And I was always just promoted in the darkness, like just be as, who cares if you're toxic? Yeah, go have fun, do your thing. You're young, just go do your thing. And it's like, looking back, that's what's kind of really, now that's the adjustment now, is like, okay, you don't need to just be nasty. Can you ask that question one more time? Because I want to really focus on it. Do you remember
Yeah.
what you asked me?
Yeah. How good were you always good at being emotionless when you fought?
Thank you. Emotionless. That's the word that you said. So being in that dark side and just feeding that, and being in the toxic side and just embracing it, that's what kept girls out of my life. That's what had me separate that. That's what just said, that's too loving. Don't say the word love. Don't believe in the word love. Don't even engage in love at all, because that's not going to support you in the fight. So my life became very unbalanced, and it became very just fucking kill and go home.
Mhm.
And that becomes very hard, like a robot. And it really hurt a lot of people around me, but there's a way to be both. And I'm learning that now, that looking back at the end of this, like, wow, I could have been both, but I wouldn't have people around me promoting that. I didn't have somebody around me saying this, and this is what could support you too, like a mentor in that area, in the emotions, in the, vulnerability, the empathy. Those things matter. Those make a difference also in fighting. So because I didn't have the promotion from my mentors in those areas, I had to learn that later in my career, later in life. And I'm learning it now. And I would say that I was very emotionless. And I don't know if it was easy, because I only would not engage in the love. So as long as you don't engage in the loving side of things, it's easy to appear emotionless, to be emotionless. But now you're in no state of giving in that way of being. So I was giving nothing, just keeping everything for myself, and then unloading it in the gym. And that's great up to a certain point, until you start, then you get hurt and you realize the separation you've created. And now you need all the love and the things that you don't have and that you pushed away, and it's not there for you. So yeah, I was very good at staying, emotionless and hard, but there was a lot of times that it made things way harder for me than not, to be honest. It made it hard for me to have support. It made me hard for me to receive support. It made me hard for me to be able to ask for support. And, there's tons of times in a fighter's life where that's what we need. So I'm learning now the other side, that doesn't work, to just be that hard and that callous, to not have empathy, to not have vulnerability, to not come from a loving place at times, to not be able to listen to people from an empathetic standpoint, to be in their world with them. These are things that are very important, because it makes people feel isolated and separate. And now the connection between coach and athlete can also be severed that way. And all this is to answer the question of, I'm happy that I'm looking for the balance now. These are all things that I'm realizing now, that I'm not going to war every day, and I have time to feel the feelings. But in the competitive nature of the athletic pool, when I'm in the competition pool, yeah, I was hard as a rock. No, no love, no empathy, no compassion. Just, hey, if you're in my way, get the fuck out of the way. I just don't give a fuck what you have to say or think. The end.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And that only works so long before it doesn't.
Yeah. And now do you have a girl in your life, or are you on the hinge getting some swipes in, or are we working on that at all?
I definitely don't use any of, and maybe I definitely don't use any online dating at all. I feel like I move around a lot. I do a lot of stuff. So yeah, I've had obviously girls that I tried to make work through my career that I never really fully committed to, because of what I'm saying to you. It ended up being like, I wouldn't engage and give what I needed to the relationship, so it wouldn't work. But I wanted it to. It's just that I had a constant conflict
Yeah.
of the two ways of being, right? So I do now. I've got, I'm working on relationships. I'm working on myself. I'm working on being all these things that I'm talking to you about right now. And that's going to help me. I got to plug my phone in. It's going to help me. I got to plug my phone in. That's going to help me with what you're talking about, which is, I guess, and
Hell yeah.
having what I want in that, right?
Yeah, getting a relationship with the females. That's good stuff. So one of your former foes, Henry Cejudo, he's fighting Peyton Talbot. How do you see that fight going down? Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, that's a good fight. I like it. I don't know. I think it's really, it just comes down to which Cejudo you're going to see. If we see the Cejudo that we've been seeing, I like Talbot, but because he's not, it takes a lot of cardio to wrestle the way I think Henry's going to need to wrestle, even for that fight. Because Talbot's really good at staying rangy. His stance switch, the one thing that Talbot's going to have to adjust to is he tends to fall forward sometimes into his punches. He's got really good balance, but he pressures so hard that will open up a lot of opportunities for Henry to get to the body lock, the inside trips that he likes, get underneath the arms and get close. And being the short fighter, supports him. So I think Talbot's going to have to make some adjustments where he's doing this type of deal, in and out, in and out, in and out. And if he can do that, it'll make it a much easier fight for him. He's got a lot of length on Henry. But again, if Henry gets himself into wrestling shape and he can wrestle for 15 minutes without breath, I think that's the guy that will win the most. But I think lately he's been focused more on the striking, and I think Talbot's definitely going to be the better striker out of the two of them.
Yeah.
If he doesn't wrestle.
Yeah,
if he wrestles, he can strike with them. Because now he's mixing it and getting Talbot thinking about the takedown, because you saw that with Banuelos, I think is how you pronounce it, that Talbot lost to recently.
Barcelos, yeah.
I don't know if that's how you say it. The Brazilian cat. Barcelos, thank you.
Yes,
Barcelos.
yes. So that'll be good.
Yeah, you could see that the style for Henry is there. I think that's why Henry took the fight, because he could see like, okay, I could fight like similar to the way Barcelos fought. And then Henry's like, okay, that's a fight I could take. And Talbot has a strong name right now. He's built himself up pretty well, and I think he's got something to prove too. And it's a good opportunity for Talbot to fight somebody at that level and see where he's at. Yeah, it got super staticky. I don't know why. Sorry, super staticky. Can you hear me?
Huh.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. No worries, Dom. We'll wrap it up there since she's a little bit shady. But hey, make sure you guys check out Love and War, Dominick Cruz page, and he's got a great podcast going on, and I think it's going to do real well. Thanks so much for coming on, brother.
God, that sucks.
Okay, yeah, that's the way she goes. That is the way.
Dom, he's always been able to speak very well, you know.
He's very articulate. He's very.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him if he had worked on that any time in his life, if he had worked on his speech, because I don't remember. I remember him always speaking well. Dom, did you ever work on your speech? Like, I don't remember. Can you hear me? Dom, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you started doing a lot of commentating and stuff?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. When you started to do switch over to commentating, did you take any classes to get your speech any better? Because you never had a problem, but just a curious question.
No, I didn't. I just, you know what it is, Joe, is it doesn't have to do with speech. At the end of the day, it has to do with confidence in what we're saying and not worrying about what other people have to say about it. Once that gets comfortable, it starts to flow. But if we overthink how we're going to sound or what we're supposed to say, it's got to be just trusting the self to flow is what I've learned over the years. And, you know, I say a prayer before every single time I talk. Hey, God, take me out of the equation and please speak through me. And when I do that, it allows me to trust myself. That's the best way I can put it.
Thank you, buddy. That helps. I will try to put that into play. I'm struggling like a big dog with my mumbling. It's not easy.
I mean, Dom's just being an expert in the sport.
You're judging yourself.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a complex I've developed over the years, but I'm getting better. I appreciate that, buddy.
Good. Thank you guys for having me.
Hell yeah, Dom. We'll see you soon, brother. Thanks again.
Good. Can I jump off?
Not yet. You can turn off camera and mic. Just leave it open for a couple minutes, and she'll download.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, brother. Talk to you soon. Okay, Riggs, you got $10,000. Jack Madalena versus Islam Makhachev. Who you picking to win?
Islam. It's hard. I couldn't imagine betting against that guy. How about you?
I mean, he's 27-1. The way these guys train. I was watching this vlog. They live in this little tiny dump of a place, and like single wide beds. It looks like It looks like just an old rundown hotel, and they literally just live their fight camp. They go, they train, and they got a group of big Russians. I just think he's going to be too strong in the grappling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything could happen, but if I was a betting man, I definitely would think Islam.
But I would love to see Jack just fucking
sure.
crack him right in his beard.
Dude, I wanted to talk to Dom about, because when I would go to Tucson and kind of train with him, that his boxing coach Rocco, I just beat him half to death.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's good times. Yeah, I mean, he was a really nice guy. I mean, back then I didn't really have too much fuck. I wouldn't be able to tone down the power, so I would just tattoo his ass, just
Really?
beating on him. I think he was about 40 years old then too. And
Oh, God.
I was like, I think, as Dom said, it was like when I was fighting Matt Hughes. It was before I got in the UFC. I was down there.
Where do you guys rate Dom all time in the bantamweight rankings?
Bantamweight? I mean,
Top 3.
I would say top 3. Yeah, top 3 for sure. Let me look real quick at his thing again, because the guys he beat, and at the time,
Yeah, because a lot of people are talking about maybe Aljo ahead of him or Marab.
Aljo.
Aljo. I mean, well, let's kind of compare here. So I mean, he beat TJ Dillashaw when TJ was again fucking scary.
Machine.
TJ Dillashaw, Uriah Faber, Pedro Munoz. He beat Scott Jorgensen, Joseph Benavidez. He's in the top 3. Marab, obviously number 1.
He also beat Mighty Mouse.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yes, Mighty Mouse back in the day. And then if you go against to the Funk Master, let's see what the Funk Master. I mean, Funk Master could be up there too. He really could. As much as he's kind of a dillweed, he's very fucking good.
It's easy to overlook how good somebody is.
I know.
You're a fucking knob.
Yeah, Corey Sandhagen, the Peter Yan. I don't know. He wouldn't have been. Would he have became champ without that disqualification knee? Everything could have been way different.
Yeah, for
You never know. He could have.
I mean, he beat him in the rematch pretty handily, but yeah, it wasn't.
Well, it
looking
was a
like
split decision on the rematch.
it?
So you never know.
Okay.
But then he beat TJ Dillashaw, he beat Henry Cejudo. Yeah, so he could be up there. I mean, but should fucking flatlined him. So what do you say about that? I don't know.
You know, and with Dom, his like this is back in the WEC, like right when the UFC bought it, like right when they got rid of the weight classes and they made the lower weight classes in the WEC. Like it was the heaviest weight class is 185, I believe, my weight class, and he was on him and Uriah were on the post because I was a bigger than both of them back then, so they were. Like the picture, they were the poster. So I threw a tantrum, wouldn't sign
really?
the posters. So embarrassed.
Were you bucking yourself? I'm not signing that.
Dom was like, because he's his first guy in the WC. He's like, I told you I'd be there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I was so mad at him. I was so angry. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay, we got BKFC this weekend. I got one soldier fighting. Joe Diesel's heading out there, and I would love if you got your snaps going. Maybe you could vlog the trip on your Snapchat. What's going on? What's going through your mind?
The main event's 2 birds I've fought, like that tomato wheeling motherfucker, Lorenzo Hunt.
Yep.
And then my last fight, Josh Dyer, the guy that headbutted me.
Yep.
So, and I think Josh Dyer, because they fought once before, Lorenzo I think knocked him out in the 5th round after dropping him like 7 times. But I think Josh Dyer is going to put that I think he's going to beat Lorenzo Hunt.
Really?
They knock him out in the 2nd round.
Are you going to bring a tomato, maybe get some revenge?
I'm going to do something. I'm going to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I'll slap both them motherfuckers.
Have someone video it, and we'll get some good stuff going here. We've been working on that.
Molly's going with me.
Is she?
Oh, fuck yeah.
That'll be good.
Road dog.
So this weekend you're heading to California. Next weekend you're heading to Washington. We got one of our soldiers making his pro debut.
Fuck yeah.
And that should be good.
And then I don't know how I got roped into doing something up there.
Oh yeah, you're doing a signing.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. And today, right after this, we're gonna go play our first games at the Pickle Dojo. We're gonna get some games going, and I'm excited for that. This weekend, UFC 322, we're doing a live stream on the YouTube. It's gonna be sweet. I have a filler for Joe this week. It's gonna be undefeated Tommy McMillan and undefeated Ezra Elliott. We're gonna get serious. The whole fight card is so sweet. We're in for a goddamn treat. Leon Edwards, Carlos Prates. Holy smokes, that's a banger. Benoit St. Denis versus Benil Dariush, another banger of a fight. Sean Brady taking on 18-0 Michael Moraes, crazy fight. And then the big one, Jack Madalena versus Islam Makhachev. Can't wait. See you there. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys.
And real quick, what do you guys think about Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul? Looks like that fight will be happening.
What?
In December on Netflix.
So is this is I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Dude, well, Nick just said it's happening, so let's talk about it.
You put well, fucking. I think it's possible Jake Paul can beat him. It's
Dude,
fucking,
Joe, are you sure?
I'm not
now,
sure.
Now listen to this here. The guy's 6'6". The guy's 6'6". He knocked out Francis Ngannou, clean knocked him out.
Yeah.
He's 28-4 with 25 KOs. He's got an 82-inch reach, Joe.
I would.
He just lost to Daniel Dubois. I don't know how that went. He was down 4 times against
That's
Daniel
it.
Dubois.
Okay, what's Jake Paul's best fight? Overhand right. I guarantee he'll fucking plant that right in his fucking chinless ass. His chin's not near what it was.
And remember, he went the distance with Usyk.
Yeah.
This is a serious fucking fight.
Remember, he knocked out Francis Ngannou in 2 rounds.
Like
Yeah,
Cole.
so, I mean, he's got so much firepower. He can knock anybody. He just caught him and then he never recovered. But
Beat Andy Ruiz.
it's true. He's a fat son of a bitch. And I love watching Andy Ruiz.
Jake's never fought anyone this big or tall.
No, but okay.
Beat Klitschko.
2 times. Actually, I don't know. Is that true? 1 or 2 times. But but Jake's obviously a lot more hungry. He doesn't have the miles on his body, and I just think Jake at 6'2", that overhand right will find that.
I mean, if Jake Paul can somehow win that fight, that is fucking crazy. I like Jake Paul. I just don't think.
It's crazy to think of it.
Yeah, I mean, Jake
just
couldn't
can't
knock out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's not going to knock out Anthony
And
Joshua.
we're talking 6'6", Joe.
How much did he weigh when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? I don't think he's gonna knock out Anthony Joshua. I think he's gonna Anthony Joshua gasses about in the 4th, 5th round, and.
But how big of a nutsack do you have to say? Okay, I'll fight fucking Anthony Joshua.
Fucking big, man.
Big.
Especially everybody on earth wants to see him get fucking tipped out, and he's just getting in the ring with somebody that can just sit him down with either hand.
199.4 versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Jake's he's a big man. So it's hard.
But
Chavez is fucking fighting that weight.
But dude,
Put tits on him, fucking.
what does Anthony Joshua usually weigh? 6'6", 82 inch reach.
260, 250.
Oh, that's a different.
Solid as
It's a
fucking
different
rock.
fucking level of a fight, dude.
I mean, it's I don't think that Anthony Joshua is going to get knocked out, but I do think that
gonna be a
Jake
good
Paul has a
fight.
good chance of winning.
Last fight for Joshua, he came in at 252 pounds.
Jacked, ripped, explosive athlete.
It's been known to have a bitch tit or 2.
You're talking gyno.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, not even a fucking trace of it.
Yeah, there is.
The guy's just carved out of marble.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if he did, though. Does Jake have any bitch tits? A long tethered nipple or anything?
I haven't saw it. I'm sure that there's going to be very, very
Rigorous testing.
a lot of testing going on there.
Maybe we could, if you feel so confident in Jake, maybe we could do a little eyebrow bet.
Or a cul-de-sac.
Would you do it?
I'll take Anthony Joshua. Cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Fuck. I have to teach all my students. I have a lot on the line.
I know. When we were on the Fight Master, he did the same song and dance. And then I took the fucking brunt of the bald spot.
You did.
Can you explain the cul-de-sac?
The cul-de-sac is just right here, like an old man haircut. You're
Like
bald
cul-de-sac.
in the middle, and I already have a fucking 5 head and a half.
God, dude, when did this get in your head about this?
Since I was
I
fucking
make
had hair.
I have a living off mocking bald people. Lord, you know this.
I wouldn't say bald. It's just my hairline goes a little
Well,
far back.
it's a fine line between bald and balding, and I like to mock people with that.
Well, can we make this an official bet? Because we'll be doing a live stream most likely for that fight. We could even...
I'll bet both eyebrows and a
now they're
cul-de-sac.
God damn it. Why? I have to show up in my gi class in front of 50 students with a cul-de-sac.
With a red cul-de-sac. Oh my God, Molly, it'd be a great day.
Don't do it.
Are you gonna do?
I can't confirm.
Come
that
on,
yet.
Rick.
We'll get something going for that. Anthony Joshua, though. Dude, this is the fight we're talking about.
I could understand if you were betting on Jake Paul and I was Anthony Joshua, but come on now.
Okay, so you go cul-de-sac and get
I'll go cul-de-sac
nowhere in
and
a hat
brows.
for you.
Just for your cul-de-sac.
Okay. We'll get that bet going maybe here in the future.
You hear that, Nick?
But boys and girls, again, hope you enjoyed the show. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps more than you know. It really does. Comment your thoughts below and make sure you give it a follow at Tim Welch MT on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. Joe Diesel Riggs on Snapchat, and he's getting serious with it. He really is. So thanks for watching. Love you all. See you on the other side.
Dude, that's so
BJ
uncomfortable.
Penn arrested again. God damn it. Okay, boys and girls, now let's take a peek at my confidential show. It comes out every week on patreon.com/Red Hawk Academy, and it gets real juicy. Everyone that's been a part of the confidential crew, they love it, and we got a great crew going on. Patreon.com/Red Hawk Academy. Let's take a peek.
Yeah.
Are you still trying to crack the code?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I hate it. And I hate it.
I love it.
Boy. Okay, boys and girls, I'm back again. Confidential show, and we got a great one. Joe Diesel Riggs, he's fueled up. Just got done hammering a box of Sour Patch Kids. We got Clark here, and we got Curtis on his way up. Curtis had one of the most extensive training camps I have ever seen for his world title fight. Cocaine and cheeseburgers.
Cocaine and fat black women.
Yes, had a brief overdose. Went to the ER after. We'll get to the bottom of that. Yes.
What?
Is that something embarrassing we should be talking about?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No,
it's Kurt.
I think yes, we should talk about it.
But the thing is, if Kurt can get licensed here to fight, he should be able to get licensed anywhere.
So I was talking to the commission about that. So I'm going with Pike for his fight.
Yep.
So there's no reason that I can't talk to him and kind of let him know the situation with the commission and BKFC, because Dave is really hard to tie down unless you're in front of him. He's running around 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't know why. I was talking to Chris Lytle, and because he's probably like the number 3 in the company. He's saying that fucking Dave's running around all the time. We're broke. We don't have any money. Like a young startup trying to make it. And
I believe it.
They're the second biggest show in the world, right?
I wonder what kind of deal they have with Dawson, because they pay out some serious bread to these top guys. They probably paid a couple million to Mike Perry and Jeremy Stevens.
Did they really?
Probably.
I thought it was only a couple of thousand. I think Kai Stewart's making 300 grand.
No way.
I think so.
Flat?
That's crazy money, man.
For a kid that did
That's crazy money.
it's nuts.
Yeah, for a kid like that. But you can tell BKFC doesn't like him.
Well, he's still ugly to watch fight.
Well, it'd be different if he was like kind of, I don't know, his little spiel is so fucking
What
annoying,
spiel?
and people can see it. Like him
Yeah,
trying
he's not authentic.
yeah.
I mean, when someone's inauthentic, it's very easy to see. But it's not. Most people watch him because they want to see him get battered, you know.
Yeah.
But that's equally as valuable.
Yeah. I mean, the internet sniffs you out if you're being unauthentic. Just like that kid we had on the pod on Wednesday or whatever, Bedtime MMA. His videos are getting 60, 70,000 per video, and he just sits there and talks and just doesn't do anything crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Just get a solo program?
Just be yourself. Yep. So
Why is that?
what do you mean?
Like, so why did that many people watch him do it if he doesn't really do anything?
They just kind of like his personality and his honesty about it.
He's a nice
He's
guy.
like a mini MMA guru. You can tell he kind of copies MMA guru with some of the stuff he's doing.
I
But
heard him kind of. I brought it up a couple times.
How long has he been at it, Tim? You know?
where did he say he was at it, Joe?
2020 or 19?
Yeah, 2020, I believe it.
5
Maybe.
or 6 years.
That's 2021.
Yeah, 2021. So four years.
Let's go.
How old is he? Is he 21?
Yeah, young buck. But
I thought he was-
that pod with him got on my channel 60K in one day.
Did it
God
really?
damn.
Wow. And you think that was because of him?
Yeah, maybe a little both.
So what makes, is there a reason? So when somebody comes on the
Internet?
someone comes on your show and it's more viewers than another, is it just the way it goes or just the star power with that?
That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, is it because the title, I mean, the thumbnail and the title is so clickbaity that people click on it? Or is it, MMA Guru did tweet about it, though. He tweeted about the pod we did with that kid.
Oh, no shit.
That kind of probably pushed a bunch of views to it, too.
That's that organic traffic right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Title,
not
thumbnail.
organic?
That's why it's
Time
like,
of day you post it too, maybe? I don't know, though. I don't know how much that really matters.
yeah, Nick and those YouTube gurus would know more about that. But I tell you what, Diesel needs his own channel. He does, but could he can stay consistent is
No,
the question. And could you'd have to just let go and not try to act a certain way and just be yourself and have a list of topics to talk about.
I really can't. I can't fucking be any way. Other than, if I try to act any other way myself, it's come out ridiculous.
Really bad.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Like when I'm lying about something, you know. I'm lying.
No, you're not. I know you're all there. You're all there.
Did YouTube get stricter about certain words or something recently? I feel like I heard something around that where you can't say the fag word or shit like that.
You
on
can't
YouTube.
say the juice box word either, right?
Well, I think they'll just start not recommending it to people when there's those words. But even the full send pod or Shug, we can hear you right in that mic, bro. Yeah, we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that.
With the old head bounce.
Shug, we can hear you guys so good in these mics. No, it's okay.
But Tim, I went live on Thursday, and I looked in my live chat like 5 or 6 minutes in, and it said lives or chat for this live stream disabled. And I was like, oh fuck.
What did it say?
It said chat for this live stream is disabled on YouTube, and I looked at it mid podcast. I was like, oh, did I say some shit? But it just something fucked up, and it was fine. But I was thinking about that. Even on it's weird because on the full send pod on like One Night with Steiny pod, they're bleeping out every fuck word. If you say cocaine, if you say any words, like they're bleeping them out. But then you got Kill Tony, they don't bleep out nothing. So I wonder if he's even getting YouTube ad money. I'm curious. I did notice they bleeped faggot in Kill Tony. Did they? They did. That's the only word I noticed.
Yeah, that's keeping up. We got Kurt straight from being the state champion, 135-pound champion. Nothing but cocaine and cheeseburgers that fight camp and a few sparring sessions. He was going against this undefeated kid named Jake Reed, a purple belt, who that kid had a full fight camp, was training jiu-jitsu every day. He came out there with a banner, his face on the banner and all his sponsors. The whole crowd was there for him. Really? Kurt goes in there, Segi boxers. His Segi hands.
Actually, they weighed in these shorts.
Didn't even have a cup when we were about to walk out. Threw it over his nutsack.
Jace's cup, shout out, Jace. The guy was like, "You got mouthpiece?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got your cup?" I said, "No." He said, "What?" I was like, "Oh shit."
You just got to knock on your old pecker.
Yeah.
On the Fight Master, every fight on the show, I remember I didn't wear a cup.
They gave you a little tapping on the nuts, like.
No, because you can. Knocking yourself, you have to rough it up a little bit.
He was like, "You got a cup?" I said, "Nah, I ain't got a cup." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Oh shit, yeah."
He's going. Dang, so that was crazy. That was a lot of pressure for old Kurt, because the rough fights, that celebrity theater, it is made for fighting. It's a small, like intimate place. The cage is the size of this carpet. You take one step forward and you're in the guy's grill.
Yeah,
Kurt, no training camp, knowing this kid's gonna come out and grapple you.
We can't really say no training camp because I've been here 11 months now.
Yes.
So like I am around the best of the best, I can't really sit here and say I didn't train for that fight because I've been in here most days.
And you've been, every time I put Kurt in sparring, I'm putting against 200-pound people. I'm putting him against wrestlers. We're going super fights with Kurt.
Trying to see what's gonna happen.
When this kid grabbed a hold of me, I was like, "Thank fuck this ain't David Clay or Mitch right now." He felt like a little worm. Like when I jumped the gilly, his little like body tried wriggling around, and it was just like, "This guy's not coming anywhere." Like it was. Funny.
Well, you came out. I didn't expect you to come out spinning like a tornado.
What?
I asked Shug before. I said, "Have you ever spanned before the start of the fight?" He said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, first fight I ever had to come out with a spinning back fist." I said, "Right, it's in the making. Let's go."
He come down and spun right into a double leg.
Yeah, I told Val, I said, "I'm opening with a spinning back fist." He said, "Don't do it. Don't. He'll take you back straight away." So bink, spin. He's on my back. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then I can just see a red going, "Pommel, pommel, 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 pommel."
Was it standing up? As I always saw, was the highlight of the guillotine.
Do you want to see the full fight?
Yeah, how long is it?
37 seconds long or something.
I mean,
Really?
we could probably throw it on the screen. And
No, just let them throw on the screen.
How do you do that?
the whole
I'm on like 5%.
Luke. Oh, you'll just have to send it to Luke after, and Luke will throw it on the pod.
Here you go.
They watch it.
Give that to old Riggsy boy. Turn the volume up, Riggsy. Be careful what you scroll on there. You might see the old woodpecker.
Ew.
The old hooded pecker.
The old anteater.
Champ life, you know?
Is it? It's I can't hear anything.
Turn it up.
It's all up as loud as it goes.
Turn the little button up on the side. Flick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, flick that up.
Oh,
Oh man, that was funny.
Look,
Tim.
rewind that shit. You missed the spin already.
Yeah, fucking turn him up. You stay with me.
That fucking his eyes are fucking gone.
Here you go.
So was the
Here we go. We'll have this playing on the screen. The beginning of it.
I was sitting there from the front row, and I was like, I was
fucking
watching.
into a fucking 1-2. Into a taken back.
You have any doubts, or did you think we was going to get that one done?
I just didn't know, really. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Me too.
I was praying you got it, though. And then you did.
This motherfucker's trying to get him down desperately.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a.
And Kurt's about to grab a hold of his head and try to wing him to the ground.
I wasn't going to
Square
jump
headlock
it,
him.
and I thought, I'm getting taken down at some point in this fight, so I don't want to like give him the impression I was scared to go to the mat, you know?
Dude, this motherfucker is just desperate. Kurt's fucking.
Watch me jerk the crowd, you'll love that bit, Riggs.
He didn't even fight it too much, huh?
He was pretty stuck in there. He kind of tried to fake tap, and then he really tapped. But this was what 2 weeks ago when you were on the Confidential. You're
2 weeks today.
begging for a fight. I'm like, God, I mean, I'm gonna try to get you a fight, but I was like, when I called the promoter, I'm like, I hope this motherfucker is able to get his blood work, his eyes. I know he's never done any of that shit, so I'm like, well, if we could just get to the cage, if we can just get to the cage, it's gonna
Struggled
work
making
out.
that weight, to be fair. I've never ever got to 35 in my lifetime, ever. My first ever boxing fight was at 45.
And that's why I asked you. I said, can you make 135 pounds? Fucking easy, mate.
What did he weigh? What did you weigh when he asked you that?
162.
Really?
On Monday, and he said, promoter said you're good to go. Get in the sauna, and I was like, ooh.
Did Solo help you with your diet?
He just told me what I should do with the water loading and what I shouldn't be eating. Then I told him what I ate on the Monday, and he was like, "There's no way you're making that." He was like, "You can try."
Because what'd you eat on
I
that
had
Monday?
jelly beans in the morning,
Yes.
some
and what
gummy
else?
bears.
Jelly beans in the morning.
I had a milky coffee with loads of sugar in, just how I like it.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're not gonna make it. It's 5 days away, 6 days away. You need to start water loading today," is what he said. I said,
And
"How
what
much should I drink today?" He said 2 gallons, so I put about 2.5 down me.
Oof.
Praying, pissing all night.
2.5 gallons.
And I got
fuck,
to
that's a lot.
137 and my body just stopped sweating. Like I literally couldn't sweat anymore. So I got to the celebrity theater and the guy said, "Start running laps, pal. You've got an hour to get the rest of the weight off."
Oh fuck.
I told him to get fucked. He said, "Just cut 27 pounds. You're crazy."
And then how did it go after you said that?
He said, "Let's get another contract signed then. If you don't want to do the weight cut to 35, we'll sign a new contract for 37. So he said, as long as we do a rehydration clause and you come in at the same weight as your opponent tomorrow on fight day, we'll still fight.